Have you both been?
Been
Hello.
Hiya.
all right. Been really busy,
Yes.
Yes.
really busy because trying to juggle um
Yes.
doing this 9 to 5 and yeah, so a couple of other bits and pieces. But no, on the
Yeah.
whole, all good.
That's
Good.
probably why we've kind of gone a little bit AWOL is because we've had a few other bits that we had to kind of
hmm
sort out first.
hmm
And then as soon as that was all sorted, we're like, right, okay, back onto property.
I
Yeah,
did, I did, I did think like when we first spoke, you guys are quite busy, so I kind of presumed it was going to be not like a ridiculously fast start because you've got a lot of things to get on with, haven't you?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, but it's fine because we're back on it now, and we've actually had a few revelations, so we've got
Cool.
some good progress to share with you.
hmm
Good, exciting stuff. Yeah, I'm all ears.
So
So
you go first. Yeah. So
yep.
your
So
news.
so my goodness, that I did my f first call
hmm
yesterday. I did with the landlord up in Nottingham.
Yep.
Could have went a little bit better. The gentleman was quite cautious because I did a lot of reading, like you know how you had a few clips of
hmm
nervous landlords, and to
hmm
be honest, the gentleman really wanted to know more about our business and like how
Yeah.
long we've been doing it. And because obviously it's quite recent and we haven't actually got any properties portfolio, he was a little bit cautious. So
hmm
that was in the morning yesterday, but later in the day, I actually went to do my first viewing and
Cool.
to be honest, that went fantastic. I personally feel that it couldn't have gone any better, and it was
hmm
exactly what we were looking for. So we did look around in Bournemouth,
hmm
and to be a HMO, it
Yep.
only has to be five or more tenants. If
Okay,
it's not five
cool.
or more tenants, don't need a HMO license. I was like, oh,
Brilliant.
right, it's fantastic. And yeah, so I had a viewing, and the property was a three-bedroom property.
hmm
And I mentioned to the agent who I was with, saying like, it's a company let and everything, and she actually really welcomed that I did because I asked the questions on your sheet about like is the landlord open to improvements? Where does the
Sure.
landlord live? And is he open to company let?
Sure.
And she said actually the landlord has multiple properties in Bournemouth, and
hmm
majority of them are actually company lets,
Oh, great.
exactly rent to rent. And I said, so how often does the landlord want to get involved? He doesn't want to get involved. He's like, I just care about my rent, his rent at the end of the month. And they said he's very nice. If there's any even minor issues, he happily pays it. He's like, I don't care what it is, I'll just pay it. That's how chilled he is. And I was like, and to me,
Great.
I was trying to compose myself, thinking,
Hold on.
yeah, this is what
Too
I'm
good to
looking
be
for.
true.
Yeah, too good to be true. And and we're thinking about doing long-term lets with it, but
hmm
then we completely went over my head about student accommodation because then
hmm
the estate agent mentioned just as a passing comment
hmm
about student accommodation. I looked at the property and I thought this would actually be more better, more beneficial
hmm
as accommodation. So, yeah, so I had a really good chat. Took a few photos, asked all the necessary questions, and Casey wasn't with me at the time. But I was thinking, obviously, if we potentially might do a second viewing just for Casey to see the property. But personally, I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I was hoping to see if it was at all possible. So I know we've only got half an hour. For you to just have a quick look at the
Yeah, yeah, of
property.
course. Of course.
Yeah.
Have you got the link in front of you there? Because you should be able to share the screen as well.
Yes, it's in my email. Let's see if I
Yeah,
can.
take your time. If we go a little bit over, it's fine. I've got Louise next, but I can tell her, message her and tell her that we'll be a little bit late if we run over.
Thank
It's no
you,
problem.
thank you, Luke.
That's all right.
Uh,
Um, Yeah, because we've actually been looking at a lot of properties up north, but we
hmm
actually we kind of completely missed the idea that actually Bournemouth is quite a popular tourist
Yeah,
destination, and there's the big universities here, and there's a lot of
yeah,
international schools nearby,
yeah.
and we've got two big hospitals.
hmm
So we were kind of looking up north, and then for the first 3 days, we didn't really actually recognize
Of course.
how what's on our doorstep.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I did think
Um,
when we first spoke that you're in a really good area, like you just mentioned, and even like you got the beach and stuff as well, like for staycation and people like that as well.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
It's
So, and also we figured because we have student accommodate the Bournemouth Uni here,
hmm
but then what we also realised that there isn't a load of international colleges,
hmm
smaller ones.
hmm
And the thing is, when you go to Bournemouth, you probably rarely see a UK person because it's all foreign nationals
Yeah,
that
yeah, great.
come flooding to Bournemouth all the
Yeah,
time every
even
year.
better
So
though. Those
yeah,
guys
so
actually
that's
make for better tenants in my experience. Like most of our properties are filled with international people. It's almost like sometimes the people that are in the UK are a bit more entitled in my experience, and sometimes they make for worse tenants in my experience. You know?
Yeah, I
It's
could
just the
agree more
truth, you
actually.
know.
Yeah.
So this is. Can you see the screen, Luke?
I can, yeah,
Yeah.
£1,200.
Yep. So just go a quick overview. So on the map, go here. So Bournemouth Town Centre
Yep,
It's 10 minutes
is
away.
probably 10 minutes away. So there's a hill that it comes down, so Cavendish Place, and then it literally
yep.
is right into town centre. And here
Hmm.
is literally where pretty much all the international um, colleges are, and then
Right.
also, but Bournemouth Uni is split. So the main campus over in Talbot, which is over
Yep,
this way, but the
yep.
business sector of Bournemouth Uni is right here.
Cool.
There is a load of student, like the permanent student accommodations, but
Yeah, yeah,
we see a lot of them around here as well. So
yeah.
that's where the view is. Let's go to the
Train
floor.
station close by as well, it looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a 15, at most 15-minute walk from the train station.
Cool. That's fine. As long as it's
And
within sort of 20 minutes, half an hour is normally fine.
okay. And then actually the flats are masonette, so it's got an upstairs and downstairs,
Great.
which is really cool. So that means I
yeah.
guess it'll just be more
These
convenient.
these two rooms, so this one here and this one were quite large because it's an old build. The
Hmm.
ceilings in room is this property is very, very high.
Cool.
This one was a bit smaller. That's why I was thinking maybe for long term. But when she mentioned student accommodation, I
Yeah.
thought, oh, that's perfect. That's more than enough.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's like 6.5 meters squared, you can get a single bed in there, it looks like from the
Yeah.
photo. I'm sure it'll be fine. You might have to do it a little bit of a cheaper price than the other rooms, but
Yeah.
someone will
Yeah.
still rent it, you know. Oh, those rooms are really big.
Yeah, and they've recently the only renovations they've done is that they've recently put new carpets in.
Hmm.
That's it. So when I went there, because this was the only caution I had.
Hmm.
It's been on the market for coming up 3 weeks.
Okay.
So
Is that a bad sign?
is
What
that a
do you
bad?
think?
Yeah,
Not necessarily, you know, like we've had places that we've had, even some of my own houses, I've had them on the market for a couple of weeks, sometimes in between tenancies, sometimes 3 weeks. They're trying to find the right person for it, you know, and if the landlord's used to working with rent to rent companies, then he might be waiting for someone like yourselves, and that can sometimes take a few weeks. So yeah, it's not a red flag or anything like that, you know, it's just they're trying to find the right fit. Sometimes people fail referencing, you know, all sorts of things happen.
Okay, that's a relief. But then for the most part, I mean, I'm only going by the pictures, but the
Mhm.
pictures alone, it looks all right. It looks like it's in good condition, but there's still room to kind of do it.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So there's because it's been on the market 3 weeks, and obviously they've left some of the windows open but jar. So there's a few
Hmm.
like bits of debris in there. But I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, be cleaned up and everything. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty much in that condition. So when I went to view it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
What
yeah.
do you think? Do you have any like what are your thoughts looking at it?
I'm looking at it thinking we've worked with a lot worse. One of the ladies on the course, Ammon, she's taken on a 4 bed in Wolves, where it's a 3 bed with a extra reception room that she's using as a fourth bedroom, and it was in a lot worse condition than this. She's paying 1,200 to the landlord for that, and
Um,
renting the rooms out at around 550, 600. And she had to do a lot more work than I think you guys would need to do in terms of like painting, decorating,
okay.
staging. You know, it generally looks like it just needs a bit of love and care put into it, mainly like soft furnishings and things like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You've got a cooker there. You might have to put a washing machine in by the looks of things, maybe.
Ah, that's what we're missing. I was thinking there's
Yeah.
something missing here.
Yeah, but you don't have to buy that cash. You can get it like we use a company called AO.com, and they do it like on finance,
Ooh,
no interest,
Okay,
everything like that.
excellent.
okay. Do you think? Oh, yeah. Actually, no, sorry, ignore me. Yeah. Um, okay, great. So I mean, they actually don't have any viewings lined up. So, there's only one on Wednesday, but we're hoping to go and view it again on Monday,
Yeah, makes sense.
so that I can go and see it. And
Yeah,
then ideally, provided everything's still looking good, we'll probably put an offer in there
sure.
and
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I think go and have a look at it, get a second opinion, of course, teamwork and stuff.
Mhm.
But
Probably
yeah,
because it's our first one as well. So
yeah, yeah, of course, you want to be sure, but
I'm
by the looks
sure.
of things, it looks like it could be a great start for you. Just with are you going to try and get a fourth room out of it? Is that the plan here, or are we just going to do the three bedrooms?
3 bedroom. I mean, see
Um,
that door. So on this picture here, that I
That's the
asked,
front room.
that's the lounge area.
That's
But
the
that
lounge
door,
area.
there's a door there. And when I went there, and it'd been boarded up, and I said, "What is this?"
Hmm.
And he said it's an annex, but it hasn't been used in a long time. I said, "Can
Okay.
anybody access the annex?" But I'm like, no, no, no. That's so I said that's actually part of the property then of
Okay.
the flat, and they said yes, it is. They said you can open it up if you wanted to, but I, for what's strange on this picture, there's like a door handle. It wasn't a
Hmm.
door handle, like a plank of wood, like Tom and Jerry, where they yeah, and I was
oh,
so we couldn't get into it, and it'd been
Right.
painted over as well. So we were like,
do you
oh,
think, so do you think we could turn that into another room? So,
we can, but it's weird because they don't put it on the floor plan, and plus, we'd have to bring in some
um,
drills
Building
and
regs
get
as
the
well,
bolts out.
probably.
But
Yeah.
according to this estate agent, it's literally just an empty void, should we say?
Yeah.
Just a closed off
Okay.
and it just does not get touched.
Okay. Well,
um,
something to investigate, maybe.
Yeah.
But I guess the immediate goal is to use this lounge as the fourth room. Yeah.
okay, that's a good point actually. And then, like with stuff, with student accommodation, is it like because there'll be no lounging living
Yeah.
area?
Yeah.
That not a big deal with student accommodation?
You'd have to look into it and see what the exact regulations are. I mean, like because we rent to working people, like professionals and stuff who are a little bit older than students, they tend to just have their dinner in the kitchen. We put like a nice dining table in there for them, or just a little IKEA table that seats four. They sit and eat in there, and then they all go to their rooms and chill out, basically. So, oftentimes the lounge doesn't really get used. It's kind of just like an empty room. That's why we do try and turn them into bedrooms when we can.
Oh, okay, great. That sounds, we'll probably do end up doing that then, to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, but just see what the rules and regulations are with students. So if you've already had a look and you can see that it's five or more for HMO, then I don't see any reason why you couldn't just turn that lounge into a fourth room and
Yeah.
have the kitchen as like a common room slash somewhere where they can eat together. Maybe if there's room for like a dining table in there.
That's a great idea. Okay.
And
Yeah.
then yeah, just scrap the lounge because most people, they go on their phones in their rooms now, sit on their beds, whatever, and chill out.
Yeah.
Once they close their door, there.
It's true. I mean, to be fair, like I said, those rooms in there, because it's the woman actually, the estate agent said it was about a 60s
Hmm.
build. But yeah, because of how high the ceilings are, the rooms in there are quite large. So if they wanted
Yeah.
to put a TV or something, it would not be a problem at all.
Yeah, great, even better. I mean, that's something you could look into in the future. I don't think it's necessary right now. I think it would probably rent
No, but
as it
yeah,
is. But if you wanted to go high end and put a TV in every room, then that could probably get a higher rent from people in the future.
And my next one was on the profitability of service accommodation because
Mm.
I was looking around on Airbnb,
Yeah,
and I was looking at some Airbnbs around the area.
yeah,
And a lot of them, some of them are their calendars are closed off for Christmas, New Year.
hmm,
Like we can't really tell if that's because they were already booked up or because
yeah,
they've closed the calendar for that period.
sure,
But for the most part, October, November were quite open on
yeah,
a lot of the calendars and
yeah,
not booked up.
yeah,
So I just wanted to know, like, what's your experience with this with service accommodation?
yeah,
Because I think the only reason why we're a bit nervous about it is because at least with long-term
hmm,
renting, you're guaranteed X amount each
yeah,
month.
yeah,
So I just wanted to know what your experience was
yeah,
like.
yeah. Of
Is it
course.
actually more profitable?
I mean, it's is normally seasonal, so we're coming out of the busiest months now with service accommodation. So like going into Christmas, it normally does get a little bit more quiet in sort of October, November. Then you do get people coming in December for like work or family. And then it drops off again, sort of January, February is pretty quiet as well. And then it starts to pick up again, sort of March time. So I think the best thing to do is sort of float between the two. Like
Okay.
I know, like what you just said about the contracts, that's something that obviously you need to have in place. But if you were renting to, say, a group on Booking.com or Airbnb, they wouldn't have a contract.
Yeah.
They just pay for the time they're there for, and then they
Yeah.
kind of leave, right? So it can be good to kind of like float between the two and maybe have people staying on a month to month basis, almost as if they were booking on Booking.com, an Airbnb, they've just seen the advert on Spare Room rather than Booking.com and Airbnb. And if you keep them on like a short-term basis, like month to month, I just feel
Yeah.
like that can be quite a good way of running it because it keeps things quite efficient, and people are paying for the time they're there for. And you could never get into that situation like you just mentioned where you've put people on a long-term contract and then the landlord wants the property back. If they're on a month-to-month rolling contract, it's a lot easier to just
Yeah.
they can hand in their notice. And I think it can work quite well that way. That's kind of what Ammon's doing with her house in Wolves. She's got international students coming over from different countries, and they kind of see it as like a stepping stone property rather than like a home. So they're like they stay there for like a month, 6 weeks, and then they maybe move in to a flat or a house, but they just use it as like a place to drop their bags, get used to the country, a roof over their head, and then they move on, and that can work quite well for you.
Okay, that's good. And is student accommodation, does that work in a similar way, where they come for a few?
Yeah, well, they're going to be, it
Mhm.
depends what type of students, right? So you've got short-term students, but then you've also got the longer-term ones that are going to be there for the whole term, I presume, like 11 months.
Yeah, yeah,
So obviously that would be ideal for like the longer-term agreement with no voids and stuff.
yeah.
But
Okay.
if you didn't manage to find a group like that, then there would be the other options of renting to people, like I just said, on like a shorter term basis, month to month, or also doing it on service accommodation and booking.com and trying to encourage bookings for a few weeks at a time, maybe a
Yeah,
month at a time. There will be some fiddling around with it. That first month can be quite difficult just to find your perfect product market fit.
yeah.
And you might float between different strategies to find what really works for it best. But it's always good to have a few different ways of making money from it. And I think somewhere like this, where you could rent 4 rooms to individuals, either to students or working professionals, but you could also do it as service accommodation as well. I think that's kind of a green light in terms of having a few ways to make money rather than just the one.
Right. Okay,
Okay.
that's a good point. But ideally, I mean, if we can get long term, then that's always a good
Yeah,
option.
yeah, it's easier for you to move on then. Another avenue to look down. I mean, maybe this property might be a little bit too nice for it, but one of the other guys in the group, Wes, he's been renting to like emergency accommodation tenants through the council.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we've heard about that where they're the like the council guarantee the rent
Yeah,
for X amount of time. So it's
yeah,
another.
yeah. I mean, he's having a good time of it at the moment. They're paying him like £3,200, £3,300 for like a 4 bed house, and he's renting them off the landlords for like 1,900, 1,800, and
Wow.
they pay the council tax as well. The council do. So
Oh, okay.
his running costs are significantly less than what ours would be or yours would be if you were renting it, because you'd be paying the council tax normally, right?
Yeah,
So that
yeah, yeah.
brings your running costs up to like £500 rather than £300 is what he's paying. So he's making like a grand roughly per house, and he's scaling quite quickly because he's renting them and filling them quite quick because he's got that relationship with the council now, and he speaks
That's amazing.
yeah, he goes on the viewing, speaks to the council, they come and inspect it, and they're kind of working in cohesion now where it gets filled quite quickly. The council have sent him like a family of a single mum, sorry, with 2 kids, and then they go in and they're promising him like 100% occupancy per month. So they're paying him month to month at the moment, and he's had, I don't know, 2 3 months now of 3 properties filled from the council, and he's just taken on his fourth one. So that might be something to explore as well, just to speak
Great.
to Bournemouth Council and see if they have the appetite for emergency accommodation, if they have people in hotels or Airbnbs that they're
We
paying.
do actually in
Yeah,
Bournemouth. There's
yeah,
quite a lot of
yeah.
because we've actually had quite a lot of protests recently in
Hmm.
Bournemouth in front of these hotels because
Hmm.
of a lot of emergency accommodation,
Hmm.
refugees and
Yeah.
homeless people, etc.
Yeah, well, then it's something to explore. I think maybe that's a task for next week. Give the council
Okay.
a call, try and get through to um, emergency housing or housing department, and just ask them if they have the appetite for emergency accommodation. Do they have people on the waiting list, people that are in Airbnbs and stuff? Maybe you can work together, try and find out their rates, and yeah, you might be surprised. Like I think they said to Wes that in Reading they're happy to pay him £100 a night. But if you wanted like £150 a night, they'd do that as well. But they can't promise like all 30 nights will be booked. So it's like maybe 70% occupancy rather than 100. But
Amazing.
he's gone for like the £100 a night sort of price point with 100% occupancy because that allows him to scale quicker. So that could be a
Yeah.
third way of you renting it as well, which would be really good because then you've got three different ways of making money from it, and it could be a really good starting point for you.
Perfect. Okay. I actually we didn't know about that. Okay, that's
Something to explore. So we've got students,
yeah.
Mhm.
we've got maybe working professionals. I wouldn't write them off just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've also got service accommodation, and then maybe a little trick up your sleeve, maybe with the emergency housing. We never know. So maybe even four ways.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that because that's what we were nervous about is
Not making any money.
yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Very, very right to be nervous about that. We haven't got a business if we're not making money, right? So,
I
but
was like, oh please, we don't want to.
yeah, because that's like when I speak to people normally, in that if there's only one way of them making money, I am a bit apprehensive of them taking it on. Like in some areas, there isn't the opportunity like you guys have got where you can rent four rooms out. So you have to have an HMO license for three or more people. And
Yes.
those houses, those people have to rent them as Booking.com Airbnb units. And like you've just seen for yourself, you've looked on Airbnb a little bit and you've seen that there are some empty calendars where it's not so booked. And if that's
Yeah.
your only way of making money, it can leave you a little bit exposed.
Yeah, yeah. So that but what's really helped us though is when you like because obviously we follow you on Instagram and
Mm,
on X, but then when you share about your other students
yeah,
and all these other people that are actually making it work and
yeah,
we're
yeah.
thinking, okay, well it's foolproof, like we can't, how can we go wrong?
Yeah, I
We put
mean,
the hard work in, but at least we know it's gonna work.
of course it will. Of course it will. You got me here, like as a team we can make it work, right?
Yeah.
It's just you have to be willing to put the work in, which you guys seem like you definitely are. You may have to, like I said, first month of you taking on your first one, it can be a bit difficult fiddling around with things and getting it right. But
Yeah,
once we've got it right and we've got consistent lead generation coming in and you're going on viewings consistently and looking at new properties and you
yeah,
keep filling them, whether it be short term, long term, whatever comes and works best for the property, then that's how we can scale the business up and get to like 3, 5 properties, maybe even 10. But
that's
it
the
all,
goal.
Yeah.
it all starts
God.
with that first one, right? And
Yeah,
Really.
getting that
our
right.
our plan is if we can get the first one rented out, you're
Mhm.
quitting your job and we
Yeah.
can scale much faster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but then we also forgot to mention, and this is I think another like another good thing on the list is that the
Hmm.
estate agent now
Hmm.
that you worked with to go and view this property,
Hmm.
we now have an estate agent that
Yeah,
does deal with
Yeah,
landlords
they
that
do.
allow
Yeah.
company lets.
fantastic.
So we can start working with them more
Yeah,
closely. Any
yeah,
new rentals that come up on the
yeah.
market and the
Yeah.
landlord's not
That's
fast,
the
we can
way.
get in
That's
there.
the
Yeah.
way. You only need one or two agents like that you get on with, and they have the portfolios, right? They have the landlords coming to them, so you
Yeah,
can piggyback off the back of those guys.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
seem to have taken a liking to you already, and they've got the appetite, or this landlord has the appetite for company lets, which is great. Sometimes that can take months for us to find someone like that. So the fact that you found someone like that already is good news.
good. Good
And we can
news.
build on that. And it does seem like landlords and agents seem to like couples a lot more than individuals. It just seems that way. You come
Oh,
across,
do they?
well, you
Yeah.
just come across more trustworthy, it seems, doesn't it? Like it's,
Oh,
Yeah.
I
and when you
see.
go on
Okay,
the viewing
so,
cases as well, it's going to be like, okay, like we can, we trust these people more, and
Mhm.
you just come across more like, okay, they're gonna do what they say they're gonna do.
that's
Mhm.
true. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I can see the psychology behind that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think.
because Leon and Rebecca are doing similar in South Wales, and when they've gone and met landlords, like both of them together, there's definitely been like a clear distinction between how much they trust them versus when Leon just goes by himself. It just seems to be like,
Oh,
I don't know, they have a look and think if you can keep a relationship together, then maybe you can pay the rent as well.
Yeah.
It's like that type of thing.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, and then last question. This is my
Hmm.
last question.
Hmm.
Sorry.
That's all right.
When so like because I think we don't see anything issues with this one. There's
Hmm.
no viewings lined up.
Hmm.
So we feel like we'll be able to get in there pretty quickly, put an
Yeah,
offer in, and then start staging it really quickly.
yeah.
What do you normally do before you look for the next one? Do you wait for this to be fully rented out, or as soon as it's at a stage where you know you can get stage and then you're just looking for tenants, you start looking
Yeah.
for your next one, or do you prefer, or do you suggest that we hold off for a few months first? What do you think?
I think you should never hold off. I think you should always keep potential leads coming in,
Okay,
because you don't want to miss an opportunity. And if you could fill this one quickly, then all the more reason to move on quickly if you can.
okay,
But for those first sort of 2 weeks, I would like you to focus on it more than trying to find more deals. Obviously, it'd be good to try and go and do a few viewings in between, but mainly those first 2 weeks, once you get the key, you should focus on like furnishing it, marketing
okay.
it, and any spare
And
hours
also
that you
don't
get.
spread yourself too
Yeah,
thin.
don't spread yourself too thin on the first one. It'd be nice to start making some money first and then take on the second one. But if a great deal comes up, then, and you've got the funds to move on it, then you should definitely take that as well.
Okay.
And it will just give you more confidence once you're making a bit of money from this one and you start to market it yourself. You'll see like the influx of messages that you get, and it's going to just make you feel more confident about moving on. So just
Okay.
play it by ear. But if you need to speak again, like at some point next week, I'm happy to jump on another call. If you need me before sort of Sunday next week, or Monday, Tuesday, if we need to jump on a call Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever you viewed it again,
Yeah.
happy to do that as well, just to go over the numbers again with you before you make your offer.
Okay.
But
Amazing. Thank you, Luke.
that's all right. But maybe we should offer a little bit less if it's been on the market for 3 weeks. I don't know. Maybe be a bit
Is
cheeky.
that, oh, that's the question. Yes. So, what do you normally do? So, how do you work that into conversation and like how do you normally negotiate the price?
Yeah, so we'd just send an email over. It's in the program. I can't remember exactly which module it's in. Probably somewhere between 2 and 3. But there's an offer that we use that you can just copy. It's just an email offer, and we normally try and send an email over with a few like comparables of other free beds, that we found on Rightmove. Hopefully, some that are up for like 1100, maybe 1150, just to sort of justify our offer. And if we are putting in a bit of a lower offer, then we just sort of justify that by saying, look, we're going to happily take care of 5% of the maintenance per month. And hopefully it can be a long-term agreement over a year, if things go well. So that's kind of how we justify getting a couple percent off, £50, £100 off, by being a long-term tenant, and also sending a few comparables over in the email just to sort of justify our offer.
And then with kind of, so 5% cost of the rent, isn't it? I think is
Yeah,
in the course. Yeah,
yeah.
5% cost. And then we
So
just
sixty
cover that
pound.
ourselves.
Yeah, £60 a month if need be, but that doesn't mean like you're going to pay them £600 at the end of the year. It just means if something was to break in the house and it was small and easy for you to fix under £60, then you just fix it, without having to call the agent, get a contractor around to fix it. If it's like a door handle, a toilet piston, things like that, it just makes it a bit more. It leans on the fact that you're going to be the passive income that the landlord wants, and not always have to get extra management and get things done that way.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's
Um,
only if something goes wrong.
and then
Sometimes it doesn't.
well, what do you think? Like everything, like all their parts and stuff are in good condition, weren't they?
Yeah, they're in part. Maybe just probably mainly needs just a new coat of paint. The
Yeah,
only thing that might need a few niggles is, like you said, maybe a door handle here,
yeah,
because it looks like it's been kept in good nick. Oh, and I asked who the previous tenants were, and they were
yeah.
family.
Okay,
So they said they would have stayed there, but I think the tenants, the mother's dad got ill, so they had to move out and start caring for them. So that
okay,
other
makes
than that,
sense.
yeah, other than that, it was just families that were in there. So yeah, very
Yeah,
minimal.
and the thing with the families is they're not going to really pay for anything. So like, if something went wrong with a family tenant, they would call the estate agent, I presume,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
would ask the landlord if they can fix something, basically, which sometimes landlords do want to do. It sounds like this landlord is quite cool in that aspect where he will
Yeah.
invest back in.
He's not even living in the UK.
Uh,
The land. So
Even better.
anything, whenever they call anything, he's just like, yeah, go for it. I don't care. Go for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, but that sounds like the exact landlord that you want, to be honest. That type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's got multiple and he's been doing it for a while, then that's how you do it. You know, you just fix the problem and get patch it back up and make sure you're getting your rent in is the game when you're a landlord, right? So it could be a great first deal for you guys. I'm excited.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you, Lou.
you.
You've
So,
done really well.
so that means like maybe we could try and negotiate if we were to ask for like £100 off the
Eleven
monthly.
hundred is where we should start.
1100.
1100.
Okay,
Okay.
great. And then maybe if we try and offer like a 5-year agreement and then cover like super light refurb, like painting
Yeah,
and stuff like that, and managing the repairs, that sounds like it's too good to
Soft,
decline.
soft
yeah,
refurb.
exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe go with 3 years.
3 years. Okay,
Yeah.
3
Maybe go
years.
with 3. 5 would be great, but let's go with 3 just so that he doesn't think like some people
Too
get
good to be
spooked.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go with
That's
3 and see how
it's a
that
bit
goes.
sus.
But 36 months, 5% on maintenance. Sometimes we offer like a 5% rent increase per year as well. So maybe that's another thing you could throw in just to sweeten it even more.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you'll be able to charge 5% more to your tenants as well, you know, so it all works out in your favor anyway. Just so that you
Fantastic.
haven't got to have that conversation at the end of the year, like, let's increase the rent. You've already agreed to do that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that sounds exciting. Thank you.
That's all right. It's all in the program, so you can literally just go and find the guaranteed rent offer. I'll try and send you a picture of where it is. It's in there somewhere. Guaranteed rent
Okay.
offer 2025, and you can just copy and paste pretty much into the email, and then change the copy according to the property and put some comparables in there just to justify it. And yeah, hopefully we should be doing that maybe Tuesday, Wednesday this week.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Exciting times.
Yeah, cool, man. Good work, guys.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much, Lou.
And then
Yeah.
hopefully after that, and then we get it rented out, and then we'll go on to the next one.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that'd be fantastic. I mean, let's see how it goes. Go and view it again.
Yes.
Let me know how it goes on WhatsApp, and if you need to jump on another call in the middle of the week just to clarify a few things before you make an offer, then that's fine as well. We'll get that done.
Okay.
Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
No worries,
Anytime.
guys. Pleasure, man. I'll speak to you hopefully in a couple of days, yeah?
Yes,
No
we will.
problem.
Speak to you soon. Have a
Take
good
care, guys.
weekend.
You
Take care.
too.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
bye, bye.